Hi everyone, this is Clara at Younium. So in a moment here, my dear colleague Walter will walk you through the insights here in Younium and show you what metrics and KPIs you get out in real time when using our platform. Enjoy! Bye-bye!
So diving straight into the insights, here you have, this is something you can set up yourself. This is something you can customize. But what I like personally is like we have the bookings here, subscriptions and financials. So this is how we set it up because we think like, bookings are all the business events, my new deals, my upsells, downsells, churns, net retention, all the things that trigger and change subscriptions in an revenue picture. I think that's what we really like. So that's why we named this bookings. Then we have subscriptions, which tells you more about the recurring performance. How is my MRR, ARR? How is it per specific product in a specific region, in specific segments, things like that. Also, if you have pay-as-you-go or usage billing, which is super common. Also some statistics around usage. How do we track it? How can you report revenue on it? And of course, some consolidation. So how is my MRR for my parent company, but how is it for the legal entity in Sweden? How is it for the legal entity in New York? But also how is it on the parent as a consolidated currency as well? And some financials. So how much am I invoicing? How is my cash flow doing? How much am I spending in sales and marketing? And revenue recognition. But as mentioned, you can name these categories yourself. You can prioritize dashboards. You can just create and have widgets as you go. Just to highlight a few here on the bookings, this is the short-term ACV, so annual contract value. This says something about the bookings. And here you set the date and time filters. And here you can create certain segments like, industries or countries or whatever. And this date and time filter is set to this month. So it shows all the mutations, the contract events that happened in April. So here you can see we had a starting balance of 782,000 euros ACV. Then we had a nice expansion customer. So a customer that did 18,000 euros of upsell. Then we unfortunately also had a contraction. So that means a partial cancellation, right? Not a full churn. Of 9,600, and then we had a few new customers and we had a closing balance. So this is, nice to show throughout the month in each mutation what happens. If you're looking for a more consolidated picture on that, you can see, for instance, here in February, we had 6,000 euros in new deals in total. We had 1,600 euros in full churn. We had 300 euros in upsell. That's not a lot. And we had 600 euros in downsell. So that's how you can see like the consolidated version of that. And this is one of those examples where you want to show a few customers and how is my customers growing over time? What is the revenue? So this is a customer dashboard we defined, but again, you can customize this yourself. So how are my customers growing over time? What is the average revenue they bring in? And how is, in general in table version, and what are my new customers, my lost customers, etc. Bit about net retention. So how is my net retention going in CMR by monthly cohorts, but also in customer retention. So how much of the customers signed are staying, and not only the revenue picture, which is something, investors like, but I think is something you should really look at yourself as well. A bit more analysis on churn. So how much did we actually have on churn? Again, per segment, maybe per churn reason, like, hey, how much did we lose to, lost to competitors churn, and to be creative with this. All the renewals coming up. Of course, in Younium, you can set something that's called automatic renewal. Then you don't have to do any renewals. It just automatically renews for you when the notice period is over. And the active renewals are where you say to a customer, like, okay, we signed for a year, and next year we're going to review and renegotiate maybe even a new term for the coming year after, which is always good for a touch point to talk new modules, new monetized features, and things like that. So that's a bit about bookings. The recurring revenue is like the monthly recurring revenue. In this case, it says this year, which is of course nice. And here you can see like we highlight. Let's look a bit further. I mean, we want to look a bit next to. No, this is again this year. Next year. So we're looking now at 2024. So how are we going to do that? And that is important as well, because in the subscription business, you also want to forecast. So how do we forecast? Pretty simple, actually. Committed in this case means there are contracts that are not expiring in the month of April with their subscription. So that's committed revenue because they're still ongoing in that time. The yellow ones are the automatic renewed subscriptions. So the ones that are, still a customer, they haven't churned yet, but are on automatic renewal, and then you can say for your business like, typically 90% of the customers that are on automatic renewal will renew. And then you also kind of know, okay, then 90% of this amount will possibly also be there in April, in addition to, of course, the projected forecasts from sales. Active renewals, I already explained. If there's renewals that are up for renegotiation, those would be highlighted in red. And milestones is, so let's say you sign a customer today. What is it? Like the 14th of April today when I'm recording this. But they say, we don't want to pay your subscription until we're fully live and onboarded. So you can say to the subscription in Younium, you say, okay, the customer signed today, so my subscription start today, but they start paying from the point they're live. And the expected go live dates, for instance, 1st of June. Then the forecasted revenue of the go live customer will be forecasted under the milestone revenue in June. Again, that's when you know for your business, okay, 90% of the projects we deliver on time. So we expect 90% of this revenue in June. And the same principle for AR. But also if you have like pay-as-you-go pricing models, you have committed usage here. It will also track, okay, based on the history and based on the subscription still active, we also expect this much revenue coming from usage-based products. So pay-as-you-go products, if you can call it that. And then the same principle applies here. If you want to know a bit more on where does my revenue come from, you can have it per customer, per product category, per product that you are selling in certain periods, next year, last year, historic, whatever you want. Like I said, the consolidated versions, if you only want to see my MRR now for like my office in Amsterdam and I don't want to see the holding, or I only want to see the holding, or I only want to see my US, or, if as many entities as you want, can be 30 here, then you can see the revenue for each group. A bit around cash flow. Cash flow is basically like, okay, I'm invoicing something at a certain point. Younium knows when we invoice according to the subscription. So it forecasts that. Plus the payment term is kind of, when can I expect some money? And that's, all for today. You have revenue recognition, but we dive into that a bit later.
Hi there, it's me again. Thank you for watching Insights in Younium. If you're interested to dive a little bit deeper into the features and functionality in Younium, I recommend this next video where we go through how to create subscriptions and change your subscriptions in Younium. Hope you enjoy the watch. Bye-bye.